Standing by, our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is in uptown Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other. Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And off we go from uptown Charlotte. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, baby.
So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll be taken out by the product of the University of Louisville, the talented Teddy Bridgewater.
His stature isn't huge. He's not one of the big, strong-arm guys that you see coming into the league. But his touch, decision-making, ability to make plays, that's why Teddy Bridgewater has a chance to be a top quarterback in the league.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face a third down. On third down, Bridgewater. And Jeffrey's got it. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. A first down throw for Bridgewater. Safarian Jenkins has it. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. And the offensive starters for the Panthers.
And last night we were discussing some of the changes they've made offensively during the offseason. And we know it helped for them to have the first game at home. Hopefully this crowd, which we saw coming in, they've been here for a while, ready to go. You and I should have joined the tailgates, that's for sure. They're going to give them plenty of encouragement. They'll try and ride that wave and get their first victory of the year.
A quick throw there out to Jeffrey. And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though. Huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bills now getting ready to go on offense for the first time. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The tight end Cameron Brate was the target, and that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's Lindsey, and he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. If that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Here's the 2nd and 7. And this one caught by Cameron Brate. That one a first down pickup of 8.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Got his man. That's the Pro Bowler Julio Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Now back to throw. He'll get this to Phillip Lindsay, complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 30. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Now he'll pull it down. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 20-yard line.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
90 Wolf, Christian Travis. Smooth. Hello. Who's that?
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, 2nd catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. Now, a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. Here's 2nd and goal. They're going to look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think, yeah.
And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Cameron Brate there to make the grab, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And onto the field, here come the Panthers. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And an alley to run. He's at the 50, the 30, 10. Touchdown, Carolina! Joe Mixon, 75 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34.
Let's go.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They were successful drive of the season, and they'll get a 4 now. Here's 1st and 10. And now he's going to use his down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on first, an incompletion, or even worse, an interception.
On 2nd down, it's Lindsey. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They'll try and run for it. This is Juszczyk. This up to the 47. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Caught by Jones. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 40. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Phillip Lindsey, 40 yards. And the Bills have taken the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. From the gun, a give to Mixon. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 47. This quick pass complete to Sutton. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
The pass there complete to Sutton. And he's got this down to the 35.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
First down, Bridgewater. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a Carolina first down on a gain of 16. From the red zone now, Bridgewater. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now it's Mixon running right. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Joe Mixon, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. And it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Rolling to his left. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 22 yards there, a first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. 2nd and 6. And Blake, the tight end's got it. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Bills on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 4. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from
the Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
It's a Carolina first down on a gain of 16.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. Got a man open. It's Sutton. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
It's a Carolina first down on a gain of 16.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 44-yard line. To throw, Bridgewater. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Bridgewater to Mixon on the check down. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Taking it in from 24 yards out as his guys are able to regain the lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He'll find Metcalf. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And fortunately, the Bills jump on it and get it back.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Panthers will take over now 1st and 10. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. Here's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. The end result, 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They go play action. Bridgewater going for it all. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it. What people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case...
And they finally get to him as he's taken down. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack.
All right, partner, count with me. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Look, he had all day to throw the football and never got rid of it and allowed for the sack. That's not on the offensive line.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Space to maneuver at the 40. This one into the hands of Metcalf, as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Second and 10. Complete to Jones. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few steps.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Nick Bosa picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now the Bills will hustle to the line. They'll drop to throw. He completes it to Jones. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Hey, Charlie!
They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now a man drafted and then let go by the Panthers, Harrison Bunker, for the field goal try. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. On 2nd down, Bridgewater again. Safarian Jenkins has it. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. From the gun, Bridgewater. Caught, Safarian Jenkins, right side. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. 35 seconds, all that remains in the first half as they come up on first down. Jones has it. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Julio Jones, 95 yards, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. Now, we're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
And now let's discuss Julio Jones. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun, because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll go again with Lindsey. He'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Complete. He finds Bray. And they work this well upfield across the 45. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync.
And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. In on the sack, the former Buckeye, Tyquan Lewis.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now back to throw. The open man is Smith. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Panthers have recovered. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Throwing is Bridgewater. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on third down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Back to throw. Looking deep for Julio. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play here for Buffalo. 56 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. Here's 2nd and 8. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The Bills' passing game getting them down the field. They've got another first down. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. They'll look to throw here. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. No yardage to speak of whatsoever. Leads to a 3rd down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? In a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open. Left them nowhere to go with the football. Had to absorb the sack.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not.
Touchdown, Carolina! Trent Taylor, 75 yards. And the Panthers are going to jump back in front. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
A big play here for the Bills. 44 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And down inside the 15 he goes. The Bills passing game, getting them down the field. They've got another 1st down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. Another run by Lindsey. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
Not a lot of headway on that carry, but when you're dealing with a defensive line that can cover up your center, sometimes you got to think about getting out of that play. Not going to be a lot of space when that happens.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the 1st down. And that will force a turnover on downs. So the D-line got the push there against the O-line to stop that quarterback sneak.
A really high percentage call on offense. I think it's the right call. But as you noted, if they didn't get the push, he can't get in there. There's no place for him to go. And that's why the whole play got stuffed.
Derek Wolfe there on the tackle. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 9.
And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Cortland Sutton, 93 yards. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
This fielded at the 2. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Back to throw here. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got to the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Now Joe Mixon. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stopped short of the 30. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4. Here's Bridgewater. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Lindsey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo 1st. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that would look like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. So a nice chunk play running the football followed by that, going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, maybe so, but they don't seem to be that concerned about it because when you've got a big-time runner, you will trade a few of those for those big chunk explosive runs that he provides. Those add up over time, don't they?
2nd and 14. He'll find Metcalf. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up. They've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
70, Indy.
They'll look to throw here on first down. This complete to Jones. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's second and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. DK Metcalf there to make the grab as his guys are back within a single score. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
Let's bring it.
A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you'd think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Bridgewater to throw it. He finds Taylor, complete. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Back to Mixon on first down. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
The tackle made back at his own 49.
On 2nd and 11 now. Bridgewater. That's complete to the tight end Sample. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
Some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. There's a ball thrown right side and complete, and inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards, first down, Panthers. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
He's got his man. This is Tate. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The reception good for 7. It's third down. A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Bridgewater. Safarian Jenkins has it. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
2nd and 6. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. So the failure to convert no doubt really hurts, but this one's not over. A good chunk of time on the clock and the timeouts.
Yeah, not only do they have the timeouts, as you just noted, they're going to get an extra one with the 2-minute warning. And that's going to help them big way. So in a sense, they have 4 timeouts in their pocket. The big thing, stopping them on defense now. They can't let them get a first down and make them use their timeouts and get a fresh set of downs. They've got to stop them right here. And if so, they've still got an opportunity.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a 1-score game. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that will make this a 9-point lead. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
So the Bills now down by 9. At time, a huge factor. They'll need a score here and also likely an onside kick recovery. But first things first. 1st and 10.
10-2, sir. Hey, wahoo! 58 to
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering where it's going to go.
The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Nick Bosa in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
That's to his running back, complete. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Phillip Lindsay, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 42-yard line.
So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for Carolina, that'll be a happy locker room as they start the season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again.